Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity to ventilate into this matter, which is of great national importance. Mr. Speaker, I know even the pain the parents are going through, the parents of these particular young ones who are in school. And I would wish first, before saying anything, to condole with them, those ones who have lost their loved ones, and also give them a word of encouragement that this House and those who are concerned with the Speaker should take very serious steps in ensuring that such a happening do not happen again in this country. Mr. Speaker, I think the reason, there could be so many other reasons why we have such a kind of diseases in our schools, Mr. Speaker, but I think the most important part of it is to have at least a health facility in every school. I remember even the schools we used to go, Mr. Speaker, used to have some serious dispensary in the school, a serious nurse, a serious doctor, so that if there was any particular disease in the school, it can be detected immediately. I remember the school I was in, Mr. Speaker, which is Maseno High School, used to have a very serious outbreak of malaria, and at some point, we lost even a student out of that, Mr. Speaker. But eventualities that happened after that, Mr. Speaker, was the introduction of a very serious dispensary in the school, a serious doctor, a serious nurse, who would actually take care of any disease that come up in the school, Mr. Speaker. It should not be, we should not, having deaths more than 2, more than 3, Mr. Speaker, in a school is a very dangerous phenomenon. I think one of the most contributors to this particular situation, Mr. Speaker, is either water which is contaminated, food which is not properly cooked. And sometimes I remember, Mr. Speaker, there was a time when we woke up in the morning to realize that the tea we were taking had some dead cockroaches and not even cockroaches, dead rats inside, Mr. Speaker. You can imagine that. You can imagine how these students are, what these students are going through. And we need to have a very serious health people who check on what food these students are eating. Just like what the government does, Mr. Speaker, where we have the public health inspecting food which are sold in the butcheries or sold in the hotels. Also, we should also have the same kind of personalities inspecting the food that are cooked in these particular schools, Mr. Speaker. You know, when you cook for a large number of students, sometimes you just overlook some other things. You end up cooking rats and cockroaches, and some other stuff, Mr. Speaker, which I don't even want to mention. I just want to say we must put a very serious measures to ensure that whatever these students are eating in schools are properly inspected, and even the cooks who are cooking inside there should be people who have undergone a rigorous training on matters of food and cooking, Mr. Speaker. The other issue also is water, Mr. Speaker. Most of the water that are piped into these schools, Mr. Speaker, just like what I've heard from one of the members, is that there could be even some connection between that water and the sewage, so the sewer lines, so that these students drink very extremely contaminated water. Mr. Speaker, I think we should take very serious measures against it. I also wish to talk about the accidents which have been happening along our roads, especially that are affecting our students. Speaker, that one we need to tell our drivers to be very, very careful. Mr. Speaker, also when I left school, we had a very beautiful bus, but 2 years later, we were told the bus got an accident and it completely crashed to zero. Fortunately enough, there were no students in that bus. We need to retrain our drivers, especially those who are carrying our students, to be extremely careful. But most importantly, Mr. Speaker, let us pray for our children. There has been so many happenings around our children. Let us